Hi everyone. My name is Testimony Adebi, and I'm the programs manager at Tech Semester. And if you're watching this, that probably means you want to get into tech, or you are already in tech, and you're not quite sure, or you're trying to understand what other track in tech you want to go into. And today we'll be talking about front end development, and I'm not alone here. I have with me Arinte, who is a product manager, and Damilola. So we have Daniel with us who will be answering questions on front end development. So hi Damilola, hi Arinde, welcome. So my first question, so in very simple terms, what is front end development?
In very simple terms, front-end development is the development of the parts of a website, the software that you can actually see. The parts that you can actually see, the grids, the columns, the rows, the buttons, the text that you can actually see, the colors, the images and all of that. That's basically front-end development.
Front end.
Core front-end development, the painting and interior decoration and exterior decoration as well of a website, if a website was a building. Then backend will be the configuration of the lights and the configuration of the lights on the inside and all of that. Yeah. So that's front end.
That was very straightforward. Thank you very much. So more like okay, let me use an example for this. Okay, someone comes up with the idea of CUDA, or let's say Piggyverse. Very okay. That's very interesting. I want to save and all of those things. Someone comes up with the idea, and someone builds the structure that makes everything look good. But what we see, physical structure. Now, I think something that might be a little bit confusing, and I really appreciate if you could help clarify that. So, what like so you say physical structure, right? What makes that different from what the product designer does?
Okay, so a product designer is very vital. So a product designer focuses on more like a planner. You understand?
Okay.
If you call a carpenter, for example, to come and do a furniture for you, you don't expect the carpenter to even know how the furniture is going to best fit. Like you don't expect the
Mm,
carpenter to know, oh, this is how comfortable you want to be. Like if
yeah.
you've been to the park in your school before, you see that the there's no backrest to the benches there. You understand? Or probably you've seen some cupboard before that don't have covers. They don't have
Mm,
closings and all of that. Because simply someone just tell them to do that. So if you literally tell them to put that cupboard in
yeah.
let's say in the bank premises, such cupboard should actually have doors and should be severally partitioned and all of that.
Mm,
So a product designer simply helps build that product so, but idea wise, you understand, it helps you that product idea wise. He or she puts that product in a this is how it's going to run kind of thing. This is how best it's going to run. This is how the performance, the operations is going to run, and this is what we are
mm,
going to need. Oh, what we want to do is we need a website where people can actually set alerts for Bitcoin or Ethereum when Ethereum falls to this particular price. So what's going to be login? What's going to be the settings? What's going to be the how is the fixture page is going to go and all of that. So once they design such, it now comes down to the product, the front end developer building those pages. And of course, the product designer is went from the UI UX designer. They're pretty much always intertwined, but they are not really the same. The product designer is saying, hey, see, this is how this product would be, this is how this feature would be, this is how this is going to run. And they could do a bit of visuals, but the visual designer is the one that would be able to, put up how the user experience is going to run and all of that. Take, for
mm,
example, NTA. NTA wants to run a broadcasting medium, where they broadcast news by 10, put up documentaries about Nigeria and all of that. A product designer is basically done and say, oh, these are the several parts of this programs that there will be. News at 10, entertainment on Saturdays, sport by Saturdays. No, entertainment on Fridays, sport by Saturdays. The children cartoons shouldn't come until children are out of school,
so
and all of that. So the UIX guys are now like the cameramen that now say, hey, see, this is how we are going to put the cameras and the aesthetics to make the to make everywhere look very nice. Then the front end developer could now be the I'll try and put it on NTA setting. Front end developer could now be the the video editors, those
Mm.
guys putting the those guys putting the montage, those things like
Yeah.
then you now see the back end guys are those ones, behind, maybe doing some extra operations and all of that, maybe
Everything.
just making sure
But
that things run in good timing. When somebody calls in and things are doing, they bring the thing low and all of that. So
yeah.
basically,
Oh.
there is front end and back end in different places, and but then it's inevitable without some mad product design, because of
Yeah.
course I don't know how you guys want your app to be, So yeah.
Thank you very much for that answer. I think that would, if you do not get the first example, you definitely get this example with all the ta. So the next question I would ask you would be, how has your journey been in content development? Has it been? How did you get started? What stack? How did you start?
Well, I'd, so I started coding when I was 14, and I was in a trap. The trap that a lot of people could fall into when it comes to coding. I was in this trap of, oh, I could code already. I could do HTML4 as at then, and I didn't do any advanced learning. Like I didn't do any improvement. So for like from
Mm,
14 years old till I was, let's say, 17, I didn't do anything.
mm,
I was just, I could code. I knew my HTMLs, everything. I knew all the CSS stuff, but then I was just stuck there. New things came up like HTML5, JS was there for me to learn, JavaScript, more, Bootstrap, lots of libraries, Laravel, all got launched during that period. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch them. I just held on to my archaic knowledge. And when I wanted to do my first website before I was 18, I was like, let me try and start. Then I now found out I had a lot of work to do. I would
mm,
download libraries, I'll download templates, HTML templates. I couldn't build them. But instead, I would have to edit. The good knowledge I had was that, if I see a template about maybe a restaurant or something, I can now
yeah.
edit I can change the logo and put my own there and all of that. At the point I was using HD tracker, so I was a bit stuck there. People would ask me, can you do this, can you do that? But then if I don't see template, I won't be able to work.
Wow.
So when I got to my first coding job, I'd worked for a digital, I'd worked for an armoring company, a military engineering company. I'd worked as a digital officer. So when I got to work for a fintech, then that was when I knew that I had a lot of work to do.
What to do?
Because there were now front end guys, UI UX designers, back end guys, and mobile developers there. And the UI UX guy had done his job. Then he passed it to me to now build the whole thing. And bro, I was in trash. You understand? But then it gave me an opportunity to learn how to use different bootstraps, how to build
Mm,
basic stuff. And as it would happen, I built the the front end for a fintech. I was seeing my
wow.
work. People would log in with my work, and they would withdraw money, transfer money, and all of that. I was very happy, till
Mm,
the work started getting upgraded, and I moved into the staff software unit. So I'm still doing a couple of front end now and now, although I'm now working as a Wikipedian in residence, so I don't do
wow.
front end as a full time thing anymore. So it's just something I just do when I have to. So it's been a journey of drop what you've learned behind you and get into the new exercise. A couple of times, in fact, a couple of times you know what to do, but then get ready for new experiences, get ready
What?
for new. So it has been a matter of learning and learning, playing and playing, putting a lot of play work, putting a lot of play work together, and you definitely learn through that process.
Come up with something amazing.
Yeah.
I love
So
how you share the story of how you were in a trap, and Many people are, and there's also the type of learning a lot and not actually doing building new stuff for you to see that, oh, I actually built this and it actually works.
Oh,
Right.
you must have a
Thank
lot
you.
of works. You must have a lot of works to show if you could really do all those things. You know, don't go to the restaurant to drink. Don't go to if you go to the restaurant before you drink water in the morning, you might faint along the way. So drink water before you go to the restaurant. Don't go to the football field before you start walking. You know, don't wait till the car is running your way before you start running on the road. You know, look left, look right, run when the road is free. You understand, and cross to the other side. Because if you wait till the bus gets very close to you and you start running, it's gonna hit you. So when you wait
Yeah.
till the interview day, till somebody tells you to come and build one e-commerce website, till somebody tells you to
Yeah.
come and build a stack, you know, start waiting to that day, bro. You want to learn on the
Mm,
job? It's fine. Some clients will wait for you, but
yeah.
I know lots of I know the clients that I have with me right now that still work with me are clients that I said 1 week and I did it in 4 days. And
Wow.
that's because I've spent the night of I spent the night practicing and waiting for them. There were even times I would pull up code from a free job I had done into a paid job, you know, because a lot of times many of these codes are the same. Talk about receiving emails on a contact form, or sometimes I'll log into the cPanel of one thing I've done one time and log into the cPanel of the one I'm going to be paid for, and it works.
Oh, that's great. That leads to my next question. As or will I say, back when you were a full-time front-end developer, what was your day like? And what were the things you enjoyed doing? What are the things that you did not really like about being a front-end developer?
Well, um, backend developers can be very bossy, and they can be very you need to be very ready to listen to. Okay, so a front end developer is in the middle of the UI UX designer and back end developer. And the thing about it is that your work is literally the one the customer sees. You know, they don't see the UI UX. You know, they don't see the UI UX. They don't see the back end. So they see they see your work. And a lot of times, what the UIX developer does is not something a lot of us can actually implement. You understand? It's not really what all of us can actually implement. And sometimes the backend developer wants you to do something, so that I can actually plug in this thing, so he can put his code, he can really put his API calls or whatever, very easily. So he wants you to be able to give him code that he can actually work on. And if you're not really, it's not really a tough thing. A lot of times, many backend guys are very, very supportive. When I say they are bossy, it just means they can really just give you, it's like basketball. You receive from this guy, you pass to this guy. If you don't pass
Yeah.
out to this guy will just say something like banter, like
Mm.
Ubonwe
When did you do that?
like Sean drilling, like or you can even be like, you can even go like, this guy gonna give me a say ball every time. You get, he's not trying to say you're not good. He's not trying to say you're
Yeah.
not. Or you can even say, this guy don't go cook beans. This guy don't go do nonsense. No, which kind of thing it is? God. The product designer guy might just the UI UX guy might just be dealing with, the front end guy, maybe the product manager and all of that. But you are in everywhere. The customers are saying they can't see this thing boldly, or probably your product designer is one kind of Yahweh person that actually studies its maps, studies the data, which page gets more views, and all of that. So
Hmm.
it's really fun, but I don't see any frustration there because your work is the one that everybody gets to see. And what also makes me very happy, I get very happy because people can click around my work. I could add the fintech to my portfolio, and I'll tell people, oh, click around my work, but actually it's UI UX designers design that actually implement none
Dying.
of my design, and it's the back end guy that's in my work some spirit. So
Yeah.
it's very good that you are in the middle of two things and you're actually enjoying. Yeah.
Mm. Amazing. Thank you so much. So we've talked about what it looks like, what you do. I think one question that many people, if it's not usually the first question they ask after you ask them to get started in tech, is like, what's in it for me? What's the salary expectation for a front end developer across different skill sets and organizations. So think of beginner level, middle level, senior level, organizations, startups, fresh startups, local companies, foreign companies. What's the range for these different levels?
Well, I would say something very strictly. I do not enjoy front end money because as I when I didn't enjoy front end money. And those that enjoy front end money probably work for international companies or maybe
Mm,
companies that actually have the funds. A lot of companies don't have the funds, and you yourself, you would know. For example, when I work for a fintech, my most practical experience working for front end, my most practical experience, and when it comes to employed, because I've actually earned more money being doing freelance on front end than I've earned
then,
as an employed person.
mm,
Because you are restricted to the company's budget, and the company is not just
yeah,
relying on you alone. You understand? In fact,
yeah,
sometimes WordPress fetches you more money than the whole rather
full
that a lot of
structure,
companies actually make it go through. So a lot of
yeah,
companies see you like once you especially if you join for them when the fintech I joined them at inception stage. And when I joined them at inception stage, we had to build from scratch and all of that. So from inception, this company is not making any money. They are burning a hell of money. Um,
mm-hmm.
I was earning God, I was okay. So I'll just say I was earning 120,000 naira when I
As a
joined
then,
the yeah as a front end guy, and that was because they didn't have the funds, they didn't even have the market, they didn't even have anything in structure according to what they told me, and according to what I could
oh,
see. So I don't know what is going on in the background anyway, because I
yeah.
was not in the back end to see how much is moving and how much is moving about. They said they had the
Yeah.
money, but then uh along the line I couldn't cope with that figure, and they weren't going to give
Yeah.
me a raise. But I know that at least the mobile developer guy probably was anywhere less than a million though. I know
Wow.
the majority of everybody were earning like 500. So I think that was the range. So I know that certain companies that will do maybe 250, especially when you're in Nigeria. So I know
Mm.
I don't know the figure it is for outside the country. But
Okay.
the range, the price, the salary ranges I know, that I'm very certain of is that so I know that I moved from 100,000 and 120,000. I moved from 120,000 to $40,000 per annum, which is pretty much like 2 million naira per month. So,
Mm.
and that's not a front end job. So, so that's it for me. So, front end
So,
development, yeah, so front end development was like a stepping stone for me. And when I was there, I earned 120, which I still don't believe is a very good rate at all.
so,
So
so
maybe that one
that,
motivated me to be.
yeah, probably okay. So that was when you were. Will you say you were a beginner at that time?
I'll say
It was your first paying job, wasn't it?
I'll say I was a beginner. Yeah, I'll say I was a beginner. Yeah,
Okay. So,
I was at the beginner. I was a
so,
beginner in a startup that was in the ideation stage. So even if
mm,
you're a beginner, even if you're a junior at InterSwitch, you earn more than I did. I definitely know you
so
earn more than I did.
for beginner level.
Yeah, of course. If you're in a company that has the liquidity, you would earn more than I did. If you're in a company that doesn't have liquidity, you'll be stepped on. You'll be stepped on.
That's also to say like the kind of company you work for also influences the amount you can be paid because no company will pay you more than what they what they have.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if you work, if anybody that works as an alagba for a street, a normal street in Adekunle would receive lesser than anybody that works as the same for in an
yeah,
estate. It's just the basic
yeah,
truth. So a
yeah.
lot of people,
Oh,
but yeah, so a lot of people are just so it's just basically where you work and of course how good you are. But when I was a child, I know that I had not written so fast to even say I should be given 5 naira gala for my writing. So when you are very good, you would have stepped through the poorly paid edges already. You understand? You can't just wake up tomorrow and say you want to start from 2 million per annum. You understand? 2 million per month.
a month.
Like, literally then I was not even earning 2 million per annum. All my salary combined for a year was not 2 million per annum, it was 1.2 million per annum. It was
Wow.
not like roughly for me, 144 per annum. But now I get that per month. So, and it's not even for a Nigerian organization again. So
Two.
so location, industry, location,
The stage they
industry,
are in.
a lot of factors influence what the price is for a lot of people.
Amazing.
You know,
All right. So for let's say for instance I want to get started, I want to be a front end developer. What do you think I should put into consideration when choosing, different technologies to work with for front end? Yeah. What should I
vanilla JS and all those things.
yeah, what should
Well,
I consider before choosing one?
I'd say one could be a jack of all trade,
Okay.
master of none. One should just stick to what one knows best. One should just stick to what one's knows best. But then, while you stick to what everyone knows best, you understand. For example, there's a huge competition between Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal. You understand? One of them is very good on clay court. One of them is very good on the normal courts and all of that. So the truth is, all the matches are not played on clay court. A majority of the championships are not played on clay court. So Nadal is very good on clay court, which makes him almost very good when it comes to the most. He has probably beaten Federer for the most times. You understand? Especially when it comes to clay court. So don't do clay court. Don't stay on an archaic level and be a master of archaicness. Some people are very good at driving taxis, the yellow taxis, but the market cap for that is very poor. Because nobody's gonna put it. I'm not gonna take anybody on a date in a yellow taxi. So I'm going to take a Uber ride if I don't have a car. You
Yeah.
understand? So React JS these days is the cream. React JS
Mm,
is literally the
okay.
cream. And Vue comes next. But then
Okay.
React is almost everything these days because I could really say,
Mm,
yeah, React is a thing. React is a thing. So
alright.
I just think the framework, don't go and people don't master, let's see, you're mastering Laravel, master Laravel, you're going to master like 17 things on your head. You end up having no money. The cocoa thing is not to learn how to play 17 different skills for Ronaldo. It's a matter of learn how to score. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nobody cares. You like do rainbow kick,
Yeah.
bicycle kick, score, complete the task. Can you do a fintech? Can we, put the API from Paystack and Flutterwave and you'll be able to build this website where people can buy a recharge card? That's what we're asking for. If you like, go and bring vanilla, go and bring whatever, Ruby on Rails. We don't care. In fact, many of the product designers don't even know how you're going to do it. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
React.js, I just think is the most common one, and I think lots of people are knowing it and they are documenting it a lot. So as of today, I can really say, yeah, that
Mm.
good one to
So
learn.
it should be what the market wants. And the
No,
first
you
one you
never the
mentioned
market
was
to
React.
control. Yeah, you just have to work what the market want. Yeah,
All right.
but
Okay,
don't
so I
learn,
think
don't learn
don't
everything.
you no complete it though.
Learn as much as you
Complete.
want to learn, but then I used to see a lot of people in the trap of exploration
Yeah.
and they miss out in exploitation.
Mm.
I know little. I don't know back end like that. For example, the amount of PHP I know, I've earned a lot of money from it compared to somebody who knows PHP everything, who knows Ajax, who knows you know lots of crazy things, and they just think that bulk of knowledge, and their head is full of a lot of things. Now I know something
Then
that is not going
using
to be.
it.
I know if you tell me to do a e-commerce website, I'm going to do it with WordPress. I'm not yet to come and write code. I'm here to make money for my family and I. You understand?
Mm.
And I'm going to make sure I do it in the most efficient way possible. you're gonna it's like this guy's gonna do an e-commerce website where you just place goods and all of that. You're going to be building it with PHP, Python, bro. Do things in the most efficient way,
Yeah.
possible. You understand? If you
Mm-hmm.
want to boil water, don't go and put three sticks together. Start using stone to because you want to show that you're an expert. I don't bloody care. On the long run, it tells on your eyes and your health and your time. Because when you are trying to do all those things, some people have done 17 and they are living better
Yeah.
than you do. You now see them and you now start wondering that why is person doing so little in the industry? Nobody
Mm.
cares if the band does the harmonica, you can play piano, and would you just come and do? Nobody cares if you play piano.
All right. So my next question, many people ask, oh, what do I need to have to become a front end developer? What are the skills? But we don't ask like who are the kind of people that they should not even think about front end. Like who should not be a front end developer?
Okay, so there's something I've learned. If you go to apple.com,
Okay.
kickstarter.com, if you go to let me see which website that really struck my head. If you go to just type skeleton boilerplate on
Mm.
Google, you see, there's this thing about some people, they know how to space things, they know how aesthetics should look like, they are very visual,
Oriented.
they're very visual oriented, they know how to blend in the colors. We have a lot of front end people today who don't even do all those gradients and all those things and all that. You must
Yeah.
have this Afro punk thing. Like when I say Afro punk, like, you must have this vibe for Outlook. Outlook must really be your thing. A lot of people, you see some graphics sometimes, like, you've probably seen a Milo sachet before and some pure water
Mm.
nylon sachet before. You just look like, are you designing for pure water nylon sachet? Because the way the thing is going last song, the way they do
Mm.
it, they don't even do the centralization and all that. How will I put it? Let me see. Wow. Some people don't just work on the fonting. You understand? They don't work on the fonting. They don't even care about the way people see it. They just do it blah blah blah.
Just
The ceiling just bends this way, the tank bends this
yeah,
way. This one has three windows, this one has two windows, and you know,
disorganized.
yeah, if you don't have that eyes, and the thing is, I can't tell people that you are not fit. It's an inward discovery, and a lot of people
Mm.
actually in front end and they don't actually have that inward thing. They don't have that aesthetic thing. For
Yeah.
example, if you go to Spacebar of Africa, Unblock Africa, or Unblock Africa. These are websites that are for communities I run things with. And there's a presence of spacing. There's spacing. You make sure all the spacing day normal. Communicate, say less. You know,
Yeah. Less is
so
more.
less is more. Just straight to the point. Don't come and put like a list on an own page. Put one thing here, put one thing here, put one thing here. You're done. Two rows, three rows, you are done. Section by section, you are done. Don't just come and put crazy, crazy things everywhere. Pictures. If you are doing human being picture, stick to it. If you are doing pictures from on draw, stick to it. Just make everything look nice and make it look like, I'll say again, make it look like Apple.
From what you said, right? If you don't have an eye for aesthetics, if you're not really a visual oriented person, probably fronted is not something you want to be doing. And
Yeah.
I also want to add that all this that you mentioned, I think is also learnable as time goes on and practice. You can also build build it. So my next question would be so okay, you told me how to choose technologies if I want to be in front end. But now I'm ready, like okay, I know this is what I want to learn. How do I get started? Like what do I do?
To get started with front end,
Yeah,
free, free
yes.
code camp. Am I giving free PR
Okay.
free code camp? Go start you can start with free code camp, or you can
Okay.
start from You start from tech semester. First of all, learn your HTML and CSS. Just go to
Okay.
W3 schools, learn your HTML and CSS. Make it a solid. It's got to be very, very solid. At least be able to do that on a basic home page where people can click. Because the truth is, I know somebody now that I'm teaching WordPress. I'm teaching him WordPress because I don't have the time to teach him the whole front end deck. And
Mm.
you can't compose an hyperlink. You know, Ahref and all of that. It's an headache for me, because he skipped classes. He skipped that class.
Oh.
And when I say skip classes, don't skip W3 schools for anything. If you except you have a very great teacher that is going to help you cover up for that. W3 schools is very essential. So you'll be able to learn lots of basics and why some things exist and why some things don't exist.
Mm.
Then from there you can now go to free code camp. Free code camp these days is giving me. Well, if I go to free code camp on YouTube, not the free code camp on, you know, text, that'll tell you to now run code and all that. No, go to the YouTube and see how these things run. You know, and I think it's gonna be it's gonna be like half of the way. They now start implementing and practicing what you've done on those levels. Because when I was learning, I used W3 schools, to
Okay.
just myself. Then YouTube as well is very massive, because nobody wants to do a YouTube channel on learning how to code and wants to do rubbish, because it's
Yeah.
going it's not easy to upload even 5 gigabytes of, like 50 minutes of video to YouTube. So when somebody is putting like 2 hours uploading videos to YouTube, the person too is very careful to make sure that what is getting out is what they stress,
Mhm.
so that's it.
Thank you so much for that. I think the last question here would be, um, I've started learning or looking forward. Okay, I'm going to start learning. At what point, like, how long does it take to attain employability?
You see, one thing I know about getting a job is, at least when coming from my first job, my very, very first job in the tech space as a digital officer, to the current job I'm currently at, you want to keep your self-respect. And your self-respect can only be built when you actually know what you're doing. As in, mokoto nso, mokoto nse. Sorry, I'm using the Yoruba thing, but then know what you're saying, know what you're doing. When somebody asks you, can we get this done? No, no running into shells. You understand? Not running into shells. And I've seen people come to places, demand salaries, and they can't meet up to the demand of what the company is asking for. Where
Mm.
I work at the moment, if you tell me to let's do one visualizing or whatever, I'll do it because I can. You understand? I'm not running into shadows. I know people who are giving jobs and they will have to outsource it to somebody else because they don't have
Mm.
jack of idea. So you don't want to run into a company whereby you are sad coming to work every day because what you are going to be told to do is something you don't know how to do. You understand? I know that the next couple of work they will actually do where I'm working is definitely something I can do. So definitely I can go and sleep within work because I'm waking up to something very familiar. And if I it get more fun when it becomes something that my employer doesn't even know that I could do very, very easily. For example, I've been given a task and I didn't do it throughout the weekend, and I just turn it in this morning, and it looks like something that I've done more research to do. Of course, because I know
Mm.
it. So how do you get to know that you're employable? First of all, ship it free. Ship it to homies. Ship it closely home. For example, you are a baker, you cook, you should be able to cook to people to tell you that push this thing out. You understand?
Mm.
What was I doing? How did I get my first paid website gig? First site I done the first two sites I had done were interwoven. The first website was a website where people could see, they could talk to a counselor, they could type in questions, and they could get answers from the counselor. They'll just fill up a form on the website and they'll get, rather than send an email. And I did that for church, for the Redeemed Christian Church of God, for the counseling unit, National Counseling Unit. And it hits. People were sending in questions and people were getting answers. It was a bang. The second website I did was foundoncampus.com. Things are getting missing in my school, and I felt people were losing things and people were finding things. I will find something and I want to get it to the person who owns it, and somebody would lose something and somebody had found it. The person was lost in it. The person wanted to get it to the person. So I did a website where people can report lost and found items, right? Those two websites were free. By the time my first website gig was coming, I used to just tell somebody that, I do websites. So, and the person asked me, what have you done? The person saw the two things I had
Mm.
done. And it was very easy for me to submit those things and said, this is what I've done. Oh. You understand? And finally, they gave me the job. It was in six figures. And the first website I'd
Wow.
done were very free. In fact, I was hosting them for like 600 naira per month. That's what I was
Wow.
paying for them. So imagine me telling you that the foundation for what I mean right now, in dollars, is actually something that I actually paid for in 600 naira of freebie.
Hmm.
You understand? So
Mm.
you, the first one I had worked, you can't tell me, Daniel, can you remove background from an image? Can you make this website go like this? Can you make this website bend like this? You don't want to be. I've worked in places where I've been in places where I've said, Omo, I don't know how to do this one. Oh. And
Mm.
it's not very, it doesn't come with respect from your employers at all. Because because you can't demand a raise. You want to live
Yeah.
with innovation. You can't demand a raise. You can't demand, because they will definitely employ somebody to buck what you're doing. Or probably they will have to reduce that workload from you. So
Mm.
you just have to be very efficient before you scale into your employability. At least be very efficient. And the truth about working in tech is the fact that the money is going to come when you learn and put yourself on capacity. You are only expanding the amount of money that can come in. You
Yeah.
understand? If you don't
Yeah.
learn, expand your capacity, do some crazy things, have some working
Mm.
projects out there. Number one, you are reducing your chance of getting employed now. And when
Mm.
you now even reduce it, you're also reducing your value, even when you find yourself employed somewhere. You understand? So I know a boy like that I was always trying to form. He's there. I gave him a gig, he blew up everything. He ended up getting a job somewhere, and I know he has probably left there. The first, I don't talk stories, but I know he's having it tough there now, and because you want to get these petty gigs done. You want to get these petty gigs done. Play low league first. You get an injury, right where you're on your
Mm.
wrist, and you now know that, okay, this is now to play football. Instead of you to go to the UEFA league, and you now find out that, oh, you've played the first match and you don't cast. You know.
Wow, that was a lot. Thank you so much for sharing. I think the part that also relating to what you said earlier about just start doing something. Don't wait till you get your first job. Don't wait around waiting for a job. Build things because it also becomes part of your portfolio that you want to be able to show to people. And focus on building capacity, and the more you learn, the more you keep learning, the more you earn. So why not just you know focus on just learning and doing things, so you know that, oh, someone says, can you do this? Yes, I can do this. You have more negotiation power when you can actually do it. I know the value of what you're bringing to the table. This was an
Yeah.
amazing conversation. Thank you once again, Daniel, for coming in. I'm sure anyone
Thank you, testimony.
who everyone listening who's going to listen to this has gotten an idea of what front end is, the opportunities that lie in it, and unfortunately, Daniel did not mention any really negative side. So it looks like a safe place. It looks like a safe place you might want to go into, and also bear in mind. So, and you can also reach out to Daniel if you need any more clarifications at all on Twitter. I know you're very active in that space, so you can reach out to him. Could you help me with your username?
Okay. It's easy to catch me at Twitter with at
Okay.
OBIOKK underscore
Okay.
at OBIOKK underscore.
OVI okay, okay underscore. All right. So thank you so much.